So, you are a professional and you would like to improve your job interview skills. You went to some job interviews and perhaps recently, perhaps over the years, and the interviewer, be they a hiring manager or a HR person or a outside recruiting agency, they asked you some questions that's irritating, that drove up your blood pressure, that made you feel like, are they trying to insult me? Why do I have to go through this? Why are they doing this to me? Are they trying to trick me? Why are they asking me tricky questions? And so on and so forth. And in this video, I'm going to try to explain to you the 3 reasons why they ask you questions like this. Once you understand why that is, you're not going to be irritated anymore. They are not going to get under your skin ever again. You will be able to deal with them calm and collected. And they won't bother you ever again. All right, so let's get started. The 3rd reason the interviewer asked you those tricky, irritating questions is because the interviewer that interviewed you is not very good at his job or her job. They are not very professional, or they don't know much about the industry or the profession. All right? Not everybody knows everything about everything. So when they are not very professional, when they lack knowledge, understanding about your industry, your profession, or they are not prepared, they didn't read your resume, or they didn't read your job description, and they can come across as irritating or insulting. Just understand, it happens all the time, okay? And when you cannot deal with it, well, you cannot deal with things like that in life. It happens all the time. You drive from your house to a grocery store. You're going to run into some jerk who doesn't know how to drive in the 2-3 miles between your house and the grocery store. It happens, and such is life. So don't let it bother you, right? There are plenty of people working in the office, be they recruiters, HR, hiring manager, or anybody about anything, doing any kind of job. They have bad days, bad hair days, bad week. All right, maybe their dog died last night. Or maybe they're just not very good at their jobs. Or maybe they are not very good at this particular task today. So it happens. Don't let it bother you. Just understand there are all sorts of people walking around on this planet. The 2nd reason they ask you lots and lots of questions and lots of questions that's irritating to you is because they are cautious. They are extremely cautious, both the individual and the hiring company. And the reason being is because termination is becoming more and more, legally speaking, difficult. Okay? Because termination is becoming, legally speaking, more and more difficult in Western industrialized democracies, this makes employers more and more cautious about hiring, because if they hired a mistake, it's going to take them a lot of effort to get rid of that hiring mistake. All right? It's going to take them a lot of time, and it's going to cost them a lot of money. Not only the bad hire is not producing, he's like cancer, causing trouble within the organization, bring everyone down and wasting everybody else's time, bring productivity down, bring morale down, and they might even cause some damages, damaging physical equipment, capital assets, or customer relations, or team morale, or company's reputation out there, and so on and so forth. They might cause damage that's 10 to 100 times their salary. And they are now producing and causing damage during the time they were there, and not getting fired because the employer has to jump over all sorts of hoops legal hoops to cross their T's and dot their I's to get this person, the bad apple, out the door. This is why employers are extremely cautious about hiring someone. That's why they ask you all sorts of questions. All right? So now you know this. Okay, there's no point getting bothered. They're just being cautious. That's all there is. And the number one reason they ask you questions that's designed to push your buttons, to try to get you triggered, it was designed to irritate you, is they want to see how do you handle yourself, how do you perform in tricky situations, in stressful situations, when your buttons are being pushed. Okay? Because in the modern office, in a modern workplace environment, right, there are plenty conflicting opinions, conflicting ideas, conflicting priorities on how to get something done. All right? This can be two people working on a project or working on a task, but they have their own idea on how to best get things done. Or two people with different priorities, and they have to coordinate and collaborate, and then each person feels that his or her priority is more important and should be given a higher priority. Because let's face it, all right, everybody has a career to advance, and everybody has rent to pay, mortgage to pay, okay, children to feed, and so on and so forth. Or this can be one team against another team, or it can be internal against outside customers, or it can be a boss, right, making demands amongst people who report to him, or you might have people report to you and they're making demands. So are you able to remain firm but diplomatic? Do you easily get irritated and get angry and then show it, all right? Or are you able to remain calm and play Tai Chi with whatever external events that's irritating to many, many people, but just not to you? Because you know how to handle situations. You know how to handle external events. You know how to handle external events that will get under people's skin, that will get people upset, that will get people irritated. They want to know if you can handle that sort of stress, that sort of challenge, that sort of irritation. All right? So no matter what they do, okay, realize it's just a game. It's just a test. All right? If you let it get to you, you lost. They want to filter out people who get irritated. If you show irritation, if you show that you have a short temper, if you show that you don't want to handle this and you don't like the way they question you, if you show any of that, if you believe they are trying to get to you, then you will lose the job. But if you understand, okay, this is just a test to see how you do under pressure. Okay, you are going to pass with flying colors, no matter what they do. It's just a game. We're just playing a game. It's all fun. It's all good. Okay, this sort of a test, right, is no different from before people pull the trigger on any kind of a long-term commitment. All right, what about think about a romantic young couple or not so young couple? Okay, for example, okay, before two people decide to get married and invite the government into their personal lives. To make that legal commitment, right? They test each other. They want to know if the other person can handle adverse events, roadblocks in life. If the other person is stable, is steady, or is the other person immature, can't handle their short-term emotions, cannot handle any kind of adverse events. Because, hey, if we're going to spend a lifetime together, there are going to be plenty roadblocks, plenty trouble, plenty unexpected events, plenty ups and downs. Are you the sort of person who is going to be steady, who is going to be able to handle all of these ups and downs and roadblocks and obstacles? Or Are you going to be throwing a temper tantrum at the first sign of trouble, of difficulty, right? Are you going to turn yourself from an asset into a liability when there's trouble on the horizon? Right? They want to know if all you want to do is enjoy happiness now, if you are a present hedonistic, or you have a long-term planning on your mind or in your DNA. All right? If all you are present hedonistic, they be thinking, should I commit to spending a lifetime with you and make the legal step? They're probably having a second thought. Ooh, this person is a lot of fun to hang around, but 10, 20, 30, 50, 100 years, a lifetime, till death do we part? Are you sure this is the partner to get on this journey with? Okay, so it's the same kind of test. The corporation is testing on you to see if you're going to be a good fit, right, for the corporation's future. They know you're going to stay here for 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, okay? But even during the short 3 years time, they want to know if you're going to be steady, you're going to become an asset or a liability. When there's all kinds of obstacles, problems, small and big, right? Are you going to throw temper tantrums, or are you going to be steady? Are you going to be part of the team to solve the problems, or are you going to be the part of the team that's creating problems for other people? Okay, this is why they are putting you through the tests to see if you're the sort of person with the sort of personality when unexpected events happens not in your favor. Okay, are you going to be steady at fixing the problem, dealing with the problems, thinking through the problem? Okay, don't worry about it. I got it. I don't have the solution now, but give me 10 minutes, give me an hour, give me 2 days. Okay, or are you going to be throwing your hands up the air, crying like a baby, like a little boy, like 5-year-old with temper tantrum, rolling on the floor crying because daddy wouldn't give you candy? Those are the reasons why interviewers ask you those tricky questions, those psychology questions, those made-up scenarios, okay? Those are the 3 reasons. And if you let them get to you, you lost. They know, okay, so you cannot handle pressure. Next. But if you show you can handle pressure, you can handle the stress, okay, you just passed. It's not about the answer. It's not about you give them the correct answer. It's your attitude. It's, are you lighting them to rattle your cage, to get to you, to make you scared? If you feel scared, if you feel irritated, if you anger, you fail the test. But if you hold yourself steady, okay, you refuse to cave in, then you passed. Okay, this reminds me of a scenario in a movie. I think it's called Waterloo. It's about the battle at Waterloo between Napoleon Bonaparte and his English counterpart. I think it was Wellington. Yeah, Wellington. The night before the battle, okay, Wellington caught one of his soldiers, like the lowest ranking, could be private, could be corporal, right? Who stole a little pig, a little baby piglet, right? And it was in his backpack, right? From the peasants, from the local peasants. And Wellington said, hey, corporal or private, what's in your backpack? And the corporal had no option but to open up the backpack to show there's a little pig, little piglet, baby pig. And obviously, the soldier stole it from a local farm and intend to have it for dinner. So Wellington said, oh, the penalty for stealing is death. So what do you have to say for yourself? And the corporal or the private, okay, he went on defending himself. He said, oh, yeah, I found this little pig, and he's lost. So I'm trying to take the little baby pig back to his family. I think the term at the time is his relations. So Wellington just looked at all the other, colonels and majors and captains, and he said, listen to him. He's trying to return this little piglet back to his relations, meaning return the pig, little baby pig, to its owner, okay? Which is obviously a lie, But Wellington said, you know what? promote him to sergeant. And then when the colonels, the majors, and the captains asked Wellington, so why did you not execute that lowly soldier who obviously stole a pig? Wellington said, look, the man showed his desire to live. And I need an army full of men who is going to win, who is going to fight and win. So that guy was fighting for his life to be not executed by me because he committed a crime of stealing from the local peasantry, right? So he has a fighting spirit. So that is the sort of man that I need in my army for the battle that's coming up tomorrow. So that's the entire idea behind them asking you those irritating questions. They want to know if you're going to put up a fight and do it in a way that's not irritated, that's relaxed, that's calm and collected. So no matter what they ask you, no matter how insulting the question that appears to be, how irritating, all right? Understand, it's just a game. So retain your composure. Fight, if you're going to fight to retain your composure. Fight to not let them get to you. If you keep up a good fight, if you keep up the appearance, if you just don't get irritated, okay, don't get emotional, don't get negative emotion, you won. That's all they want to see. Even if you cannot answer the actual question, you cannot, at a syntax level, you cannot answer that question. But if you're able to deflect or say something and defend yourself and just keep on talking or say something positive or turn the question around, they're not looking for a technical answer to that question. They're looking for if you can just keep on talking and defend yourself and remain positive when pressure are being stacked on and on and on you. All right? So that's how you win. That's how you beat those irritating, psychological, tricky job interview questions. All right? Hey, I didn't know any of this when I was young and stupid and being the biggest computer nerd that I ever met in my life with nothing but a degree in computer science and a desire to make my mark. I learned all of this on my own slowly over the years. And then I started coaching other people, my employees and other technical experts and other people who started their own businesses. And I worked as a recruiter. And I had my own businesses. I hired my own employees. I coached them. I promoted them. I demoted those ones who do not deserve to get promoted. And I terminated those who have been begging to get terminated. And I taught leadership seminars to business leaders, all right? So if you need coaching, right, you're sick and tired of going to job interviews and not getting hired, right? If you're sick and tired of slow progress with your job hunting, if you're sick and tired of not able to pass those tricky job interview questions, right? Let me help you. My email address and my website will be linked below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with all your family and friends who are on their path and journey to self-development.